For today's video, I headed to the Maxwell Food Center, which is located in Chinatown. I hadn't been there before, so I thought it would be a great time to go and try some food. Usually I walk around Pagoda Street, so it was nice to explore a new area of Chinatown. I was at this hawker center on a Friday around 3 o'clock p.m., so it wasn't super busy. There were so many food options there. Of course, there were mostly Chinese stalls, but I also found some others that weren't Chinese. I ended up talking with a man in front of the China Street Fritters stall. Their food looked so good, and he wanted me to try the food there.
Ours is a traditional food. It's been passed down by our parents like 90 years ago. So like this is a liver roll, right? You can see the liver here. Okay. This is bean pork meat roll, right? Egg slice. You need to fry it, become like that. And this is sausage, lean meat, right? You have cut into pieces, and you can see here. Take a look.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Right, and these four items is our specialty. So that's why one each with a noodle, the vermicelli, $6. This is we call it the signature dish. So normally tourists will come, we will recommend them this because this four is unique. Only you can have it here. These three items you can get it everywhere. It's a common item. So we only sell 7 items to preserve the traditional concept. That's why in year 2021 we received from the government, from the NEA, we have this Heritage Award.
Okay.
Heritage Award.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Then in 12 years ago, we went into the Istana to serve the 120 VIP.
Wow.
Yeah. And then after that, the president took a picture for souvenir. Yeah. So there are all the awards. The Mandarin that is King of King.
Oh, wow.
That means we have a competition in Singapore for all these food. So we came in top, number 1 in Singapore. Yeah.
Then he let me go inside the kitchen part and film the chef preparing the food. All I had to do was put on my mask to keep the customers' food clean. At first I was worried that I would be in the way, but the people working there kept encouraging me to move closer so I could get a really good view of what was going on. So in the video, you can see the chef doing so many things at once. As someone who doesn't really cook, I felt like this would be overwhelming because you have the liver rolls cooking in one pan, you have fish balls cooking in the big pot, you have to cook the rice noodles and chop the sausage and the egg slices, and people are standing there waiting for their food. And what happens if you burn the stuff in the pan or overcook the food? Yeah, I thought it was cool how the chef was able to manage all those things at once. Earlier, the man at the front of the stall was talking about how they cooked at Istana. Istana of Singapore is basically the White House of Singapore. The president lives there and she does office work there too. Cooking at Istana is such an honor. I was really surprised, and I think it's really great that they were able to have this honor. Here you can see that the lady is preparing the rice noodles for dabao, which is how you say takeaway in Singlish. I think Singlish is really interesting because it's a mix of the English language with Malay, Hokkien, Cantonese, and Tamil. So it's a really unique way of speaking in Singapore, And the fact that Singapore is such a small country, but it kind of has created its own hybrid language is really fascinating to me. This was the meal I was given. It was split between me and a friend. My favorite food was the egg slice. I really liked the texture of that. I would say the most powerful taste was the liver roll because it had that signature liver taste. All the different foods were really good, and I enjoyed the different textures and flavors on my plate. The sauce had a little bit of spice, but nothing else was spicy. While making this video, I did some research on the China Street Fritters stall. I actually found an article that Belmont Lay from Mothership.sg wrote. I'll put the article link below if you want to look at it, but basically, these 3 people all wanted to retire in March of this year, but no one is buying the business. And like many hawker center owners, their children do not want to take up the business because they are working in other fields. They were trying to sell the business and recipes for $1 million Singapore dollars, and now the price is down to 800,000 because no one was willing to pay that much. They received a $500,000 offer a while back, but the pandemic messed things up. And then someone else offered $100,000. $100,000 would not be enough for these 3 people to retire in Singapore. When they wanted to just shut down the business for good so they can finally relax, they received a lot of attention and people were basically saying, please, we love your food, don't shut down. So they didn't. But now they're just working and waiting to retire. The article talks about how exhausted they are and how much their jobs have brought physical pain as they've gotten older. Hopefully, they are able to retire very shortly. These people were very nice and friendly. I'm really glad I got to talk with them and watch them make the food. And I'm glad that I got to try the food as well. The food was really good, but I think their courteousness and willingness to educate me on their food made the experience even better.